This is Ebenezer for the vote. It's Friday. I just following a splendid urge. It told me, it, it told me show Venus some love. You feel me? Venus and Virgo is suffering a bit. It's going through it, man. I'm going through it as a Venus type to a degree. So, and I had some notes like from a while ago, but I could not locate them. So I just tried best to replicate them, and I'm gonna just talk about things that I noticed, the Venus observations, right? So, planet Venus, the image right there is just Venus in the orbit, the geometric patterns that we see from a heliocentric perception, like Sun as the center, and then watching as Earth and Venus interact with each other. All right. Now, Venus in astrology and astronomy, we'll start with just like the astronomy. But salutations to Lord Ganesha and salutations to Lord Shukra, a descendant of sage Vigour, who is mounted on a white horse. Let your blessings enlighten my being. Let your blessings enlighten our beings and illuminate the consciousness of us all. Blessings. Okay. So, Venus, second planet from the Sun after Mercury. Venus, the planet Venus governs over enjoyments, pleasures, and as well as perversions. It shows in a chart one's ability to relate the spouse archetype, the wife in a man's chart, right? Maybe the type of music and arts that one enjoys, the romantic nature, the love nature, you feel me, and the sexual inclinations or like sexual tendencies or temperament. All right, astronomically, Venus is like a sister planet to Earth, so it's similar in size, a little less. It's like 12,000 plus kilometers less wide. Now, Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system with temperatures reaching 800 Fahrenheit. It's hot, it melts. You dig what I'm saying? When you're in love, you kind of melt. When you feel passionate about something, you just immerse yourself within it. You just melt into it, right? I just I'm trying to find correspondence. The notes had something different. So, this is due to the atmosphere of Venus. The clouds on planet Venus thick and they rain sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid has the ability to corrode and dissolve most things that are made with and made of carbon molecules. So when sulfuric acid pours down, it burns anything with carbon, anything with life. And then that carbon becomes smoke, and that smoke goes into the atmosphere of Venus. Carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, it traps the heat, thus making this planet extremely hot and smothering and smoldering, right? Many volcanoes exist on this planet also. Due to the smoky atmosphere of Venus, the planet reflects 80% of the light that receives from the sun, and it holds the 20% in, cooks it. It's a runaway greenhouse effect, right? Venus is of Rajas Guna. It is Rajasic, which Rajas is passion. It creates smoke. You dig what I'm saying? So keep it simple. The axis of Venus is flipped. So unlike Earth, north-south axis, Venus axis is south-north. And because of this, it spins in a retrograde backwards motion, right? Going with that point, in Sumerian mythology, the journey of Ishtar, she had to go through hell. In astrology, death is seen where the sun falls, right? And that's going to be Libra, the western direction. Saturn exalts in Libra, the western direction, Osiris. So Ishtar, Venus, going backwards, it spans sunsets or sun rises in the west and sets in the east. That mythology tells us about Venus's orbit. Way back then they knew, like, oh, Venus is flipped, it's hell, it's going in hell, we'll get to hell, because it's like Venus is the sage Ushana, who becomes Lord Shukracharya, who is the presiding archetypal energy over the planet Venus. He was swallowed by Shiva. You get swallowed by Shiva, you going head first. So he's upside down within the abdomen of the Supreme. In the abdomen of the Supreme, he imbibes smoke. He just imbibes smoke. He exists off of smoke, much like his father, the sage Vigour, did penance, and he sustained himself off of thin air. Sugar sustains itself off of the smoke, the gases in the abdomen, or the waters, or the transformative waters of the Lord, because the Shiva is going to transform and destroy. For 100 years he did that, and he was expelled through his through the Lord's semen, or his creative principle. And Venus represents the creative principle. It is a downward force. At the bottom, it's like bottom left, I put Aphrodite amidst a downward pointing triangle, the downward pool. You feel me? All right. In addition to that, other mythologies are Athena in the Greek or Greco-Roman. Athena has sprouted from the forehead of Zeus. Athena is a goddess, Venusian, goddess of war, diplomacy, and strategy. Venus is the natural lord of Libra, sign of open conflict, diplomacy, partnership, and filial love. Aphrodite in the Greek, older Greek, maybe it's still Greco-Roman, was born of sea foam that appeared when the sky god, or the father god Uranus, had been castrated. Once again, the creative principle falling down into the material, and Venus now appears to govern over that. Okay. And yeah, Shukra was born similar way. Venus not only has influence and governs, or is, water element, Apha. So Apha, or Appas, reflects the ability of recruitment and relatability. And then Appa is also about the path of least resistance. So Venus, being water, is lubricating. It is Kapha in Ayurveda. Kapha is water and earth. It makes mud. But it also allows it to run smooth. And then the mud or the earth allows it support and glue. Lubrication is I don't remember the word for it in the Sanskrit. but roughly translates to lubrication. So being gentle, yet still being firm and having a cohesion and ability to bond. Because of Venus's smoky atmosphere, it reflects a lot of light. That reflection is seen most clear from our viewpoint on Earth. Venus and all planets in astrology cast a 7th aspect from wherever they sit. Venus' 7th aspect is stronger than the aspect to where it sits, because in love you will have to have an object of your desire. In lust you have an object of your desire. Something pleases you. You dig? So the 7th aspect, being that when we look at Venus, Venus comes out as morning star or evening star. It is not auspicious because Venus is kind of like first rate benefic with Jupiter. It's not auspicious when Venus is combust. Any other time you would do it, either in the morning or the afternoon. Now, Venus 7th aspect. And if we understand how electromagnetism works, the feeling of attraction, I guess arousal, the potential for enjoyment is strongest felt kind of from others. And I tried that out. You just kind of just observe, detach a little bit. Venus is currently in Virgo, so it's a little bit separated and a little dissatisfied. But you detach a little bit, and then when you, what's this? How do I describe that effect? We've all had it, but maybe you're chilling, you at the park, you read, or you just walking or going somewhere, and then you just feel someone looking at you, and you look and you almost immediately see eyes with them, but then they look away because Venus is very bright. It's kind of like, due to those conditions, it shines. It's like, ooh, it's even brighter because I desire to look at it. You dig what I'm saying? But if smoke get in your, it's so many, it's don't talk too much, little guy. So going back to the rain and sulfuric acid, Venus exalts in Pisces. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Ketu, or co-lorded by Ketu. Ketu has influence there. I feel like the nodes have influence and all the dual signs because they're dual, so it will have to have a dual lordship or a dual influence at play, right? So K2 represents poisons, acids, those that hurt and heal. Pisces represents exit, detachment, loss. Venus exalting in Pisces means, okay, the sulfuric rain shows us that the nature of Venus is to kind of see yourself apart from your body. Ideally, at its most highest, happiest, easiest expression, it is to kind of not really be so concerned with oneself. Like it's about having faith and spiritual principles, surrender to God, and removal or understanding you are not one's body. Give me 1 second. So I'm gonna just read an excerpt. This is after the sage Ushana had did penance just to see the Lord to in front of a Shiva lingam. And he only did penance just so the Lord may appear and he could off and just please listen to my salutations. He said, the Lord was pleased. He said to the sage, dear one, seeing your strict self-discipline, your unfaltering devotion, your worship of my linga form, your sense of total surrender, and your pursuit of this discipline in the sacred land of Kashi, I am pleased to consider you as my own son. Nothing there is that I need to withhold from you. Lord Shiva, immensely pleased with sage Ushana, granted him the knowledge of Amrita Samjivani, the secret of bringing the dead to life. The Lord spoke thus to the sage. In course of time, while in this very physical body of yours, you will enter my body and be released therefrom. I grant you the secret of the Amrita Samjivani, since with all your self-control and unswerving devotion, you are fully capable of handling this supreme knowledge. While you will be able to conquer the devas, the gods, none will be able to subjugate you. In the sky, you will abide like a glowing star, your brilliance matching that of the sun and the fire. Amongst the Grahas, you will be considered the foremost, and those who commence their journey with you in front of them will perish. Men will conduct their auspicious deeds, marriages, and the like, only when you have risen in the sky. The Nanda Tithis, i.e. the lunar dates 1, 6, 11, become favorable by your association. Your devotees will acquire masculinity and beget many children, and they will all be learned and happy. Okay, so now let me go back up to that. Look. Went too far. So just going with the acid rain, sulfuric acid rain, it's going to burn anything made of carbon. Your physical body is made of carbon. It's going to burn up when you really devote yourself to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And when you get released from that, you understand how to bring the dead to life, how to die. You really just understand how to die and move on, separate from your body. Rain is represented by Uttar Bhadrapada. That is Ahir Bunidya, serpent of the deep. The serpent of the deep is I guess a form of Shiva in a way. The Shiva, the aspect of the Lord that is devoted to sustenance and clarity. The Ananta Shesha, the endless remainder, it's like it's always the Lord always did to support you. And that star brings rain. So rain is there to support you. So yeah, while your material body and experience might seem to be dissolving and dissipating, if you find yourself in the body of the Lord, like in the bosom. So capable, yeah. Consider foremost. Okay. See if I can. So Venus in astrology governs over enjoyments. It is the planet of pleasure and perversions, marriage, the wife, spouse archetype. In some instances it says women. So feminine planets are Moon, Venus, Rahu. I guess all together could show feminine nature, but like in a way. Yeah. and relationship. So Venus in the chart shows the ability to relate. Yeah, I said that. How one receives gives love and affection, how one appreciates things, the art that one likes, the way one might want to express their love nature or sexual nature, right? Cohesive shows how one bonds. How smooth one handles things, or how one can smooth things out, like when there's difficulty. Venus represents like lubrication, so being able to smooth things out and hold things together. You think what I'm saying? Diplomacy. So Venus is at home in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is the field of material enjoyment and sensual pleasures and possessions, earnings, right? So it's comfortable there. It's comfortable with just like material enjoyments. Ideally, that's like this first impulse and impression. It's multicolored in the sign of Libra. Libra represents partnership, sex, filial love. So Taurus and Libra represent fertility and felicity. Felicity is a state of happiness. Venus is the planet of enjoyment. And Pisces, it brings immaterial happiness. And Libra, it brings a mental and material happiness, but through like partnerships and actual people, interaction through people and relationships. Exalts in Pisces, extremely happy. Exaltation, it shows the planet is happy, excited. Multicolored is excited. Exaltation is happy and excited, and it's like ease of efforts in some instances. But it's not their own sign, so it's not like Lord of first house in the first. It could be different. So it's just immaterial happiness, a spiritualized kind of love, something that's a lot more subtle. But also Venus exalt. Pisces, the bedroom. Venus, described by the sages, lives in the bedroom naturally. Lives in the bedroom. Venus exalting in Pisces, the 12th house is the bedroom. 12th sign is going to represent the bedroom and things that go on behind closed doors with a sense of privacy. 12th house is 5th to the 8th house, so it's like secret romances and like intense love making. The yeah, so Venus loves the bedroom. It's fun in there. And it's just like you just lounge. 12th house could also be the spa, the day spa. You know, you might go there. People go to the spa, get their nails, toes done. They might sit up there and talk about this life, or they might gossip. 12th house matters, and you feel me, and tell like little stories and anecdotes, tales. It's 12th house. So Venus currently is falling in Virgo. So it just shows dissatisfaction in relationships. Relationships do not bring any happiness. If a planet in exaltation is happy, a planet in fall is unhappy, dissatisfied, suffering, uncomfortable, carrying a cross. Almost feel like it's being persecuted, and all the significations takes. Fall also, so relationships at this time, women issues at this time, or concerns at this time, marriages, or just marriage in general. The idea of marriage is taken it's unhappy. It's not being expressed in a normal way, right? And there are examples. You got I guess based on odds. Venus is also significant. So Jupiter is children. Venus is like childbirth, but Venus is with K2. K2 K2 don't care about anything in this life except for the babies. Leave the children alone. Venus is conjunct Virgo. Venus is conjunct K2 and Virgo, and the moon is like, it's just kind of bothering me with the, like, oh my gosh, the babies is involved in all of this mess, and it's just, okay, nah, not okay. I've been a little disturbed, I ain't gonna hold you. Just, oof. So, yeah, and it's just, yeah, when kids get hurt or abused and stuff like that, it show K2. K2 also opposite the Pisces, which is like, what do we call that? Colord or multicolored. That mean K2 not really at work. So oh my gosh, ain't nobody, there's no influence other than our own awareness and restraint. You know, but alright, yeah, so it's just a lack of affection, lack of love, a lack of feeling loved, you know, lack of appreciation for things. So it's not, it feels like making love a job. I don't know if there's a aspect, if for Venus and Virgo show aspect of feeling burdened in love. I know they say like planets in Scorpio show, just due to the karmic nature, it shows an aspect of feeling burdened, because if K2 is so strong in that in that sign, it's just super duper dissatisfied. Anything in that sign is just, oh God, oh man. You know, same with Aquarius. It's like Aquarius is Rahu and Saturn, so it's also got a karmic nature. Saturn, he need value to go fast and take care of whatever he already got, because he's long-term stuff. And then Rahu by nature is forward, always forward looking, so it's like on to the next, on to the next. So Aquarius show disinterest, where Scorpio show a bird, and I just learned that was cool. So a strong Venus shows not naivety, but just an ability to just like come and go. Or Venus and Pisces, you don't know if that person is coming or going. Those with planets in Pisces, just due to the archetype of Venus having an exaltation, that influence gonna be there. You don't know if they coming or going. They just like water. They relate to you, and then they wash away. They got a high tide, a low tide. They coming in and they going away. And then a weak Venus, in contrast, shows not being able to relate to others in that free flowing, universalized kind of way. Even Venus and Libra is like, hey, what's going on? They might make a friend and it be here and there. It's movable, so they make friends everywhere and anywhere and stuff. And it might be over distance. Libra is about travel, natural seventh house, right? Not for both. If Venus is weak or strong, it could show a person that just don't care about grooming. The one that's got a strong Venus might actually just have a pleasant scent, or if it's not like just naturally pleasant, they might just not stink so bad. So they go without certain items others might have to wear. You dig what I'm saying? And they just don't care to groom. They never developed that. And then Venus and Virgo could show somebody that just always grooming, because yeah, they do. They will stink, or if they don't groom themselves a particular way, they might get razor bumps, or they could have skin issues, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the skin in Ayurveda. So a Mercury affliction and even a Rahu affliction, or Rahu in the first house, second house, it can show issues with the face, teeth, and skin. You feel me? Usually it's skin, it just be like, it could be bumps and stuff like that. Alright. Now Venus is also the guru to the prideful and prestigious spirits, the spirits that don't necessarily have the purest intentions. You dig what I'm saying? And because of that, a strong Venus, so say Venus in Pisces, Jupiter or Venus even in maybe Sagittarius, it'll show in a Jupiter sign, it's going to show somebody that got certain ethics or a code associated with their love nature. So Venus and Pisces is cool because they relate to others, and maybe they really are. Maybe they not so flirty like Venus and Libra might be flirty, but Venus and Pisces might be suggestive. You dig what I'm saying? About how they relate to others. They're suggestive, but in the same vein, it's like hey, let me not touch you. Don't touch me or whatever. Because Venus also is Appa, water. So water is not trying to get dirty by any means. So Venus and Pisces might not really. Just the idea of love is enough to get them off. And then Venus and Virgo is like, you really gotta, Virgo is about work and service. You gotta work for love. You might have to, it might have to be a skill developed. Venus might not debilitate in Virgo because it's about being so chaste, but you got Uttara Falguni, which is a star associated with love making, and that spans from Leo to Virgo. And then you have Chitra, which is a star associated with being skilled in the sexual arts. But it's also about, Chitra has a fixation towards the spouse of others, like other people's spouses. So you feel me? And it's 3 levels of Thomas, so they kind of like, they shit starters to a degree. And it's like, it might turn them on to just be with someone else's mate. It just, once again, that could be the reason, because Virgo is 12th to the 7th house, so it's kind of like negating commitment, partnership, marriage. It's negating that, but Venus is still there, so it's like it's still active. It's not negating sex, desire, and just filial love, right? So in some instances, it could show like promiscuity, but it just might be the perspective on how sex is. Venus and Virgo is dissatisfied. So those with Venus and Virgo, or the archetype of Venus and Virgo, could be like the person that's like, skilled in sex to the degree they realize, look, I don't get anything out of it, so let me get something out of it. And that's what that might become. And Venus debilitates in Chitra at the 27th degree. Chitra's yoni is the tiger. The tiger is solitary. It do it just to mate, and even then it's like, all right, once we mate, stay out my territory. It is what it is. And then they hunt. They on the hunt for something, so they gonna make a play on something. But then also it's not relating, it's conflicting and fighting. But then Chitra spans towards Libra, like it's not all in Virgo, so it's like Venus actually gets strength later on at Chitra, and like strong strength. So then you do still have to have a little bit of that tiger in you, that animal base, lusty kind of, because love and lust are not really, they're not separate. So you have to have that in you in order to even be available for a relationship if that's what you're seeking. And even enjoyment. Like there's a book, I just got a book called Your Blueprint of Pleasure. And in that John, like first I'm just reading that John. It's like pleasure first. Like in a way, we ain't kind of you ain't getting that much pleasure from things. However, through sex, through Venus, Lord Shukra, who is foremost of the Grahas, right? You can get pleasure. You can experience Venus in Pisces shows liberation through sex. It shows liberation through love. You feel me? Being liberated in love matters. Right? So you get pleasure, but you gotta know how to have pleasure. Venus is a guru. He teaches. So it's like you really gotta be taught the art of sex. You have to be taught the art of love and love making. You gotta be taught that love and lust, it's not separate. You're not gonna not have them together. If you understand that, it make it a lot easier. Love requires patience. The lust gonna be there, but it'll make it artificial, and you just gonna pity, and you can use that to your advantage. Venus is in an enemy sign, exalted in an enemy sign, so you can use pity and or fantasy and romance and all of that. You can use that for your event. You can use others' lust, because Venus aspect, 7th aspect, is the strongest aspect, more than the house is sitting in. So you can use that for your desires. Ideally, ain't nothing wrong with it. I ain't going back. So just read a couple more things about Venus. We'll get the description. Physical attributes of Venus. Check this out, right? Venus in astrology is dark brown, handsome, symmetrical limbs, dark curly hair, amourous disposition. What is amourous? Hold on. I'm a nigga. I went to public school. You did. Put that in the sidebar. Amourous, strongly moved by love, and especially sexual love. Being in love, enamored, indicative of love. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Venus in Pisces, like Venus in Libra shows amourous disposition. Quite natural. Venus in Taurus also. Who got Venus in Taurus? Not the young woman that's with DDG. It's Bailey. I don't know if it's Holly or Chloe. I want to say Chloe is the Gemini, and Holly is the Pisces, March 27th. And Chloe is Ardra. Or maybe early Punarvasu. I don't know. But I do know it's Chloe now. She has Venus in Taurus. I think it's Virgo too. Amourous disposition, has long arms and broad chest, a windy and phlegmatic temperament. So windy and phlegmatic, I believe, means Vata and phlegm. Is phlegm Pitta or Kapha? I believe phlegm is Kapha. So Vata and Kapha, maybe. Temperament. Vata means quick to learn, a bit restless, and then phlegmatic means stable, reliable, dependable. It's glue. And lubrication, grace, wisdom, intelligence, vigor, and multicolored robes, meaning that Venus comes in many different colors. It's usually going to be like kind of pastel-y, pinks, a lot of the sea, colors of the sea. Think like a coral reef, right? So the nature is a natural benefit. The gender is feminine. The caste is Brahmin. They teach and they have ethics. They teach ethics, And Venus especially teaches knowledge through knowledge of self. Jupiter teaches outward knowledge, so like religious customs and traditional practices. You know what I'm saying? And then Jupiter shows devotion through practice, things like practices and methods and stuff like that. Venus shows the same, but through knowledge and like maybe like specific techniques due to the Amrita Samjeevani mantra, right? Direction is southeast. Southeast is okay, yeah. Bedroom, hold on. Okay, yeah. Bedroom, see, place is the bedroom. Directional strength in the fourth house, which is home, right? Own sign Taurus and Libra. Exaltation is the 27th degree of Pisces. Multicolored is the first degree is 0 degree to the 15th degree of Libra. The debilitation is the 27th degree of Virgo. The friends of Venus are Mercury and Saturn. So Mercury represents communication, speech, skill, right? Saturn represents patience, hard work, being on one's own time and structure, discipline, right? Boundaries. Enemies to Venus are Sun and Moon, the other luminaries. It's a matter of brightness. It's like, and Sun and Moon are devas. So Venus just naturally is like, like it's up. Venus is a planet of war. Yeah, Venus is like a comet. It just came in and just smacked stuff around, probably smacked around Earth, and then hit Moon. You see what I'm saying? And then shine just as bright as the sun. You're like, hey, look, But when Parashara and Rama entered in the same space, Parashara lost all its energy. You dig what I'm saying? Neutral to Mars and Jupiter. Feel me? Venus and Jupiter always at war. Jupiter might consider Venus an enemy. Do what I'm saying? But yeah, they grew up together, had the same teacher. It's just he showed a little nepotism at Venus. It's like, man, what you doing? Don't do that, man. I really got the techniques down pat. You feel me? It's like, nah, I ain't gonna be like that. So Jupiter shows a teacher that like you gotta reach certain standards in their mind in order to get the knowledge. Like you might have to perform the mantra exactly how you dig what I'm saying in ancient times or whatever. And then Venus might be like, nah, look, I want you to see it in yourself real quick, and then I hold on to that. It might, maybe. So, significations: wife, marriage, conjugal bliss, sexual adventure, sexual perversions, youth, beauty, fame, fragrances, flowers, tenderness, clothes, articles of beauty, pride in ancient culture, royal favors, ornaments, diamonds, wealth, knowledge of scriptures, fine arts, poetry, vehicles, the bedroom, diseases of the eye and sexual organs, urinary and genital systems, intestines, and the appendix, appendicitis. Appendicitis is a Venus infliction? Where does that come from? Eating too much sour things? Intestines. Diseases of the eye and sexual organs. That's pink eye. That's pink eye and any other little like infection or whatever. You dig what I'm saying? Urinary, yeah, see what I'm saying? It just because at the highest level it's like Venus is, yeah, we keep these things private, but we also detach. It's not about what we doing with our body. We can let loose and really get liberated, but based on like new moon and purple Falguni ruled by Venus, symbolized by a bedroom where pleasures I had, sensual pleasures I had on this bed or this couch. To make love there. It's not really like there's manuals on love making and stuff like that, especially for men. Women kind of already got the 5 desires, the 5 signs, the 10 indications, the 5 virtues, or we all use the 5 virtues, but those are the other things. And then we learned the 3 sons of Baga, Mahiman. Ooh, do I remember off the top of my head? I know it's Prabhu and Vibu. Yeah. So those 3. You understand what I'm saying? So in a sense, Venus and Virgo falls, but it's in a friendly sign. So it's kind of strange how it works. But if we understand Mercury is the student, but he's also a eunuch. So he's not even in yet. I guess he's not supposed to. He represent those not yet of age. Kind of maybe coming of age. So Venus and Virgo, it really shows just learning how to have sex, learning about the skills and attributes and stuff like that. One gotta possess, and then one has to pay attention to and observe in those matters. You feel me? But yeah. And then like for Venus and Virgo, I was gonna talk about, cause like every year when Venus go in Virgo, another celebrity couple break up, but then you also kind of just feel the dissatisfaction in just everywhere. You do what I'm saying? And it could get scandalous. I don't know. It feels scandalous. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, little guys has got their resentments. So Venus is with K2. So women are also becoming enlightened. They learn it. Maybe like what they like and just about just shit. I ain't gonna back. They might, oh yeah, nah, learn it. We ain't fucking with it. Cause that's how it get. You get to a point where it's like, yeah, you get Venus and Virgo already gonna be dissatisfied. And then with K2 it bring even more. It's like I'm totally disillusioned. I see through this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And for Venus type, like for myself, I ain't going back. I'm per Parashara. We'll be celibate for a while. Like I go on hiatus multiple times in life. And hiatus is never just like a couple months. It's like a year and some change minimum. It's been like 2 years, so. And then the Venus and Virgo, I'm just like, oh gosh, I thought that maybe you come off hiatus, but it's like, no, you learn too much. And then you be like, all right, you gotta have a different kind of conduct. You feel me? Your conduct matters in romantic affairs. It could really affect romantic bliss. Because what you learn is, it's like, I guess especially for men, um, your character. You feel me? Like like the challenge, like man, I don't want to talk too much, but the challenge really just be to do it as if you don't even like the highest kind of tantra would be to do it as if you don't even have a penis. Like Shiva is just remembered as a lingam. Totally. Like he was cursed to be remembered as a lingam. So I mean his whole entire essence is that of one pointedness. Like everything about like his character is his body. His character is it just everything. You feel me? And I be thinking about that, like not like I look at my member and I be like, yo, you look like me. You look like me. You would kind of gauge that, like, what my character like? Straight up, kind of crooked. I bet. It is what it is. It's like, alright, that's crazy, but it's not. It makes sense. So, for Venus and Virgo, I was gonna talk about so Tia Mowry, Corey Hardrick. I feel like they win the news when I seen the John on the algorithm on the Dance with the Devil. That was probably Venus and Virgo. I'm almost certain. Venus and Sidereal Virgo, they split. And then Tyrese Gibson, Samantha Lee, Venus probably was in Virgo and they split. Venus is in Virgo, you get the drama with Ice Spice and Cleo Trapper. You get the drama with Lil Yachty and Caribou. Lil Yachty, who has Venus in Virgo. You dig? And I think what I see, Tyrese is in Rahu Mahadasha. Rahu is the significator for marriage. I learned that. Tyrese was in Rahu K2 main sub, right? So K2 is the when your Bhukti Lord, so the Antardasha, the second sub Lord, right? Or the sub Lord, not the second sub Lord, but the sub Lord shows the person coming in your life. I got this good game from Gina. That shows the person coming in your life. Tyrese being in K2 sub Dasha shows that he had a past life connection coming in. You dig what I'm saying? One that you ain't really gonna be able to hold on to. If you do, it makes it worse. It is the body of a serpent, so it's already kind of like already past, right? Tyrese, and this is another thing with Venus. Venus, you know, like show ability to relate, but it's gonna show like an understanding of compatibility. Tyrese has Purva Shadamoon, ruled by Venus. I believe Samantha Lee has Chitramoon, the fall star of Venus is her moon, whereas the height of the Venus energies is Purva Shada, not the exaltation, but just like the mansions of Venus, right? So that is his star of comfort, her star of destruction. His moon, well, when you're dealing with that nakshatra with that it's like 4-7, so it's Shima, Comfort Star, and then Death Star. It's kind of like a karmic influence anyway. I would advise somebody or be say like, hey, I wouldn't do that. Like unless that's what your karma dictates, I would y'all like recommend you not even to go there. Now, with Parashara and Chitra, I'll probably do this over again, but I'm gonna just get my thoughts out. Now with Parashara and Chitra, it's a Venus Mars thing. So Mars is obsessed, or it creates an obsession, or maybe it even is coming from Venus. You dig what I'm saying? But it's one that is like really lusty, like they fall in lust with each other and they move quick. And it's like for Parashara, Chitra types bring out a certain like, oh bit, oh my gosh, I love you. But for Chitra, it's not that. You feel me? Like that ain't what it is. Um, Chitra is opposite to another Venusian star located in Aries Barani, and quite often like, cause I've been there. I ain't gonna back. I've been there, but they were together a while. Where it's like me and the Chitra I was with, we wasn't together that long, and we kind of like we both kind of knew it was maybe short lived, but we ain't think about it. And that be the kill. I don't think they thought about it. And if they did, they might have tried to overlook it. It was like, we could try, but like if that's what we know that it is, then that's what it kind of is. You do what I'm saying? Yeah. And then for Tiamara and Corey Hardrick, either they both have Moon and Pusha, or one is Moon and Pusha, one is Moon and Punarvasu. But here's the key with Moon and Pusha. Moon and Pusha shows betrayal trauma and marriage trauma through either marriage trauma through betrayal, or just like some type of third party situation occurs. And this might be the case for a lot of receptive relational planets in the star of Pusha. You dig what I'm saying? Like I know I can think of a couple instances of those with planets in Pusha, Moon in Pusha, and it's like either they want to be the type of person that, all right, look, I'm out there, da 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 da, or that ends up being, they might end up being on the other side. Now the kill is due to Bria's body, he jumped the gun on a sage's wife or his brother's wife. He did something. I ain't gonna use that, but he did that, being pressed, and then it happened to him. But when Chandra had took his woman, he were like, all right, look, she don't want to come back, and he was like, man, give her back, man, and then ended up having a baby out of wedlock on him and all of that, and then we get Mercury, and then because of that, you can think why I be like, bro, I be having issues with Mercury lately, but I looked at my D9, my Mercury going Pisces, and the way I interpreted that is being like, I'm gonna just stop talking at a certain point. Like, at a certain point in time, I'm just stop talking. I'm gonna have nothing to say. Where's my Jupiter? I don't know where my Jupiter at, yo. Alright, that was probably an hour.